So a few days ago, you might have seen that the Tesla Model 3 facelift was leaked, and I quote facelift because, well, it's not even really a facelift, it's almost an entirely new car. We haven't seen a new Model 3 since 2017 when it first came out, but this is going to be sort of a mid-cycle refresh, but the entire car is almost all new. And also stay tuned for my Tesla Model Y performance review. I drove that thing. You'll just have to wait to see my opinion. I actually filmed that nearly 2 years ago now, good gosh. But if you haven't already, just subscribe down below to help me achieve my dream of becoming a successful YouTuber. I make all types of content on this channel for everything from car reviews, vlogs, and my personal opinions, to redesigning cars, to short videos, and even informative videos. So basically every single thing a car person would want in a YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below again, and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I make a new video. Alright, but this is the Tesla Model 3 facelift that it was leaked a few days ago. Obviously, it's in its full production form, and it's a big difference compared to the old Model 3. I'm just going to talk about that. In the old Model 3, it looked like kind of like a frog and a fish mixed up, and it just didn't look very nice. It just looked like a car. And that was it. And the facelifted Model 3 actually looks pretty decent for a Tesla. Like, the only good Tesla that's actually real is the Model S. I'm not talking about the Roadster, because the Roadster, it's not even really real, even though it's been like, who knows, 6 years, 7 years almost, I don't even know. But speaking of the Roadster, this headlight design really does look inspired by the Roadster, which I actually do like, because the Roadster is a very nice looking car. And the headlights also do look inspired by the Model S. I think that's a very good thing. That's not a bad thing at all, because the Model S is a very good looking car, even for an electric car. Not just for electric cars, but like in terms of just a good looking car, the Model S fits in that category, because it's just a beautiful design. I love the way every part of it looks. Like, there's not a bad looking angle of the Model S, and Elon Musk, you did a very good job on that. But the Tesla Model 3, it needed an update, and it's getting one, and it's good. It still retains some of the fish features in the front fascia. It does look like an electric car. It doesn't look like an internal combustion car like we've seen with the Fisker Ocean or something like that. Any electric car, they're trying to make it look like a combustion car, which is nice, but this still does retain that electric car feel. Now, speaking of that, the proportions of this thing, it is stretched out. There was a supposed leak. We don't exactly know if it's a full leak or an actual leak. I screenshotted it a while ago, or like a few days ago or something, but this is what it looks like, and it's supposedly the new Model 3 facelift, but we can see it sort of has the same rear end, but the front end, obviously, it's longer. It has more of an overhang. The proportions are stretched out, so that means the roofline also has a little dip in it, so it doesn't have much of that egg shape anymore that people obviously hated with the Model 3 and most Teslas, except for the Model S. So now we're going to take a look at some renders of the Model 3 facelift. Now, I think it looks honestly so much better than the old Model 3, or I don't want to call it old, because it's not really old, but the pre-facelifted Model 3, but it's not even really a pre-facelift. It's like an entirely new, different car. Like, it's kind of surprising that they just call this a facelift. It's kind of like what Hyundai did a few weeks ago with the Sonata facelift. It's almost an entirely new car, even though every single body panel is almost changed, and so is the interior. Like, it looks nothing alike the old one. Oh yeah, and before we go into the renders, I just want to talk about the interior of the new Model 3, because that also just got leaked, as well as the front leaks, as we've already talked about. But the interior, it's a way better interior than the Model 3. You actually have a housing for the gauge cluster, which I love. I didn't like how you had to look away from in front of you when you're just driving a Tesla. I did not like that at all. So I'm glad the Model 3 will have this. Hopefully it'll like sprinkle down into the Model Y performance and the Model Y. So yeah, let's move on to the renders. Now, the renders, this is probably the most accurate one that we have so far. I think I'm going to use this one for the thumbnail, actually. But this render, it looks very much like the Sony something car that came out like a month or two ago. I don't exactly remember. It was at the Consumer Electronics Show or something, 2023, but it looks kind of like that, if I'm being honest. I don't know what it is, but even though it has body lines on this, which the Sony car didn't have body lines at all, it was basically just like a blob and headlights and taillights and wheels. That was basically it. But I don't know what this is, but it kind of sort of reminds me of that, even though this one looks completely different from that. And also this one, the fenders are more pronounced than ever, which I love. I love a good hip, and I love a good shoulder line on a car. It looks just spectacular. The black leak that we saw, the car that was actually ready for production in the black paintwork, obviously you can't really tell, because obviously the car was dirty, and obviously the car is gloss black, so you can't even really tell the body lines of that car. But let's say if it was in like a matte sort of silver-ish, or let's say a matte blue, you could definitely tell the lines and the body lines of the car, because this leak, you can't really tell a thing, honestly. But yeah, there's just a little bit of my thoughts on the new Tesla Model 3 facelift. I don't know why they call it a facelift again, because the whole car is basically different except for the chassis. The interior is new, the facelifted, the face is new. The rear, technically the same from what we know so far. We don't exactly know if it's going to be a drastic change or not, but mainly a facelift is focused on the face,
as the name literally says.
Even the whole proportions of the car will be changed. Like, the roof line will be changed, the whole entire roof shaping will be changed, the front overhangs will be changed, the rear overhangs will be changed, and just the entire hood, like, everything is going to be different for this Model 3, and we haven't seen something new from Tesla since, like, I would say, like, 2017 when they revealed the Model 3. I'm not talking about the Cybertruck, because the Cybertruck, we don't even need to speak about that because that's not even real yet. And the Roadster, just forget about that thing. So that's just basically my thoughts. Tell me what you think about it in the comments down below, and if you agree with my thoughts or do you disagree, and also comment your opinion on what the leaks is and your opinion about the design. But if you haven't already, just subscribe down below to help me achieve my dream of becoming a successful YouTuber. I make all types of content on this channel, for everything from car reviews, vlogs, and my personal opinions, to redesigning cars, to short videos, and even informative videos. So basically every single thing a car person would want in a YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below again, and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I make a new video. But I do hope to see you in a future video. Again, tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and check out more of my other content. But I do hope to see you in a future video, and bye for now.
Please subscribe. Lol, I have big dreams on YouTube.
Can't even really tell the body lines of that car, but if it was, oh shoot, but if it was